think maybe even a second round guy could be. Maybe there could be multiple Fred VanVleets in the second round.
Trey Jones.
Yeah.
Trey Jones for sure. So, I mean, we both kind of talked about, we both kind of have a consensus for who lost this draft. And who is that to? Who really lost the draft?
Like you said, I don't want to give up on any players yet because, first of all, these kids haven't even played a minute of NBA basketball, so we don't know who the losers are and who the winners are. This is just predictions for us, and I'm just gonna go with the Bulls just because I think Patrick Williams. I think he's the youngest player in the draft, and a lot of teams see him as like a really good project to try to work on and try to reach his full potential because he could be scary. But I think the Bulls, who are in need of a lot of talent at the moment, who are at the bottom of the East, which is pretty bad. You need to get a surefire guy, and I think that guy at least could have been Denny Avdia. And if you really wanted Patrick Williams at on your team, you trade back because I think there would have been suitors that wanted to go get Denny or wanted to go get Onyeka or players like that.
I was 100%. I was going to say the same thing. So when we're saying these teams lost the draft, we're not saying that Patrick Williams is a bust. We're saying that these teams lost the draft because they could have got him at the 8th pick. They could have moved back to the 10th pick and maybe I don't know about the 10th, but they lost the draft because they need talent. The Bulls need the most talent that they can get possible, and they took a project player, which just doesn't make sense. And he might end up being a great basketball player, but it just felt like what they needed was a surefire player. A player with a little spark. They didn't need the flower man, and he.
Yeah, that was bad. We can talk about that too. I can't believe they did him like that on the TV segment. I thought that was one of the funniest parts of the draft is when it's nice. He was helping his mom run the flower shop, but a lot of NBA guys might be talking some trash to him when he gets in the league.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. They did him so dirty. I didn't even think about that. They didn't even talk about. They didn't show any of his highlights. They literally just go into, oh yeah, he's the flower man, and then at the end he's like, yeah. So for my new teammates, whoever needs some flowers, I got you. I'm your guy. Really, that is what they decided to show. It's just classic NBA. But I will give them credit because compared to the NFL draft, it wasn't as bad. With the NFL draft, they just literally they took the worst moment of their life and put it in a little segment.
Yep, I would 100% agree. I don't know. I think, like I said, I think Patrick Williams could be a great player. I just don't think the Bulls should have selected him at 4. And if they really wanted him, they should have tried to trade back.
For sure. So yeah, we're not saying anything wrong with Pat, but it was just not the greatest pick. And the other pick that was just kind of questionable was the Suns with Jalen Smith.
Yeah, I think Jalen was projected to go 15 to 20, and they took him at 10. And like I said, it's one of those situations where I think there would have been suitors to try to go get Tyrese Halliburton. So I think possibly they could have found a way to trade back. Like we said, Jalen looks like he's going to be a good player, and if that's the Suns' number one guy on the draft board, that's the number one guy on the draft board. We just thought probably should have gone later and maybe got an asset out of it.
Of course, yeah. We're not getting paid to be GMs of these teams, and obviously these guys see something in him that we don't see, or just it just doesn't really make sense for me with their roster. They just went and 2 years ago they drafted a big man, a not versatile big man, and now they're just going to take another big man to back him up. It just doesn't make a ton of sense. But the Suns are getting scary, so I mean, why not build up that bench a little bit? They're starting to look like a pretty good team.
Yeah, I think for the Suns, what I would have done, I would have either drafted Cole Anthony, who I think when CP3 lives in 2 years, I think Cole Anthony could be a really good player on that franchise. Or I would have gone with the 3-and-D guy, like a Sadiq Bey at 10. I think that would have been a perfect fit they can plug in right now with Oubre leaving.
Yeah, or Vassell.
Yeah, or Vassell.
They could have Vassell, or just take Halliburton. Why not?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I think the Suns, maybe they didn't expect Halliburton to fall, but I think Cole Anthony or Halliburton are Sadiq Bey or Devin Vassell. I think there was a lot more options that would have filled out their team a little bit better.
I agree that they could have traded back. There wasn't really any trades this year, which is kind of weird.
I think there wasn't any like super big lottery trades, but I think later back there was a lot of trades, but that's fairly common within NBA drafts.
Really, there's not usually as many like upfront trades.
No, there's not huge lottery trades. So I mean, yeah. I expected some lottery trades this year. I wouldn't have been surprised if the Timberwolves would have traded or the Warriors would have. So
exactly, that's what we were waiting for, and yeah. So, I mean, those are our winners and losers of the draft. I'm honestly looking forward to next year's draft already. Like,
yeah, I am too, man. We'll have to this next year's draft is going to be pretty insane from what I've been hearing. I mean, there's a consensus number one pick this year or this coming draft, unlike the last one. And Cade Cunningham at Oklahoma State.
No way, really?
Yeah, he's 6'8" point guard. He looks really good.
You think he's a consensus already?
That's what everyone's saying. I don't know. He played on Montverde, which is the team Ben Simmons and D'Lo played on. So I mean, I was looking at some of his highlights. He looks insane, man.
When Halliburton played on Team USA, he was on the same team as Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
So, but
we'll have to see though. A lot can change.
We'll have to see, and we'll definitely be keeping you guys updated on that. So you said we're going to touch